Alright, so here we are again. This is the continuation of 3.5 part 2, point slope form. Here's example 6b. The value of a certain piece of equipment purchased in 1995 depreciates linearly over time. At the start of the year 1999, the equipment's value was $13,245. At the start of the year 2006, its value was $11,726. Determine the equation that represents the situation using N and D, where D represents the number of thousands of dollars and value N years after the start of 1995. For your equation, make N the independent variable and D the dependent variable. So right away we know that our ordered pair is N comma D. The independent is always our input, or what we typically call our X value, and the dependent is our output, what we typically use as our Y value. Okay, so now we need to see what they give us here. So here we can write that as an ordered pair. Okay, and that is going to be 1999, comma 13,245. And the other ordered pair is going to be 2006, comma 11,726. Okay. Oh, I messed this up. Okay. N is years after the start of 1995. So, from 1995 to 1999, that would be 4 years after, right? To find the years after 1995, you would take 1999 and subtract 1995 from that and get 4. So this is going to be 4 comma 13,245. This one you would do 2006 minus 1995, and we would get 11 comma 11,726. Okay. Now from here, we're going to come up with two equations of the line in point slope form. So we're going to use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I keep doing that. This should actually be d minus d1 equals m times n minus n1, where this is going to be n1, this is going to be d1, this is going to be n2, and this is going to be d2. So let's use this first point to come up with our point slope form using the first point. Okay, so they don't give us the slope, so the only way to find the slope is to use the slope formula, which would be d2 minus d1 all over n2 minus n1, because these are like y values and these are like x values for this particular problem, x comma y. So this would be 11,726 minus 13,245 all over 11 minus 4. 11 minus 4, that is 7. And again, I'm going to use my calculator to subtract the 11,726, 27. That should be 26. Minus 13,245, that's going to be negative 1,519. And when I divide that by 7, I get negative 217 again for my slope. So now I've got my slope in my first point here, and I can plug it into my point slope form, and I'll be done. So d minus D1, which is 13,245, equals M, which is negative 217, times X minus N1, which is 4. That's the first point in point slope form. The second point is going to be D minus D2, which is 11,726, minus the slope, which is negative 217, X minus 11. So we're done with those. Okay. Next problem goes along with the problem that we just did. Using the equation found in 6b, determine the year in which the value for the piece of equipment will be worth 11,292. So I don't think it matters. We can use either one of these equations. I'll use this first one where I've got D minus 13,245 equals negative 217 times X minus 4. Alright, so we're going to use this equation. So we need to know, oh, this shouldn't be X, it should be N. We need to know that D represents the dollar amount. Okay, so that's going to go there. Determine the year. So that's going to involve N. Okay. And remember, N is the years after the start of 1995. So we're going to have to take whatever N is and add that to 1995 to figure out what the actual year was to determine the value of a piece of equipment when it's $11,292. So here's D. Plug this in. This is going to be 11,292 minus 13,245 equals, we're going to distribute here and get negative 217n plus, I'm going to use my calculator here. This is going to be 868. Okay. When I subtract here, I'm going to use my calculator again. I get negative 1953 equals negative 217n plus 868. Then I'm going to subtract 868 from both sides. Use my calculator again, and I get negative 2,821 equals negative 217n. Divide by negative 217. And n will equal 13. So that is not the final answer. The answer that they want was determine the year. So the year is not 13. The year is 1999 plus 13, which would be 2012. Because if we look back up here, oh, messed it up. It should be 1995. 1995 plus 13. Let's see. That would be 2008. Is that right? right? Yeah, 2008. And the reason why is it says how they defined N is years after the start of 1995. So we found N years after 1995. We have to add that, and we get 2008. So that would be our answer there. All right. That's it for this section. So I'll make another video for the last section.